Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek and welcome to the Fired Up Network and welcome to the special On the Mat Wrestling Show Part 1 for Night 1 of WrestleMania 42 with huge pop radio stars Donnie Da Silva and Jimmy, the great referee, who, by the way, Donnie, I have heard rumors that the referees are going to be inducted next year into the WWE Hall of Fame. Can you confirm or deny these rumors? And can you confirm or deny that Jimmy is up for one of the first ones to get into the WWE Hall of Fame and we get the speech to do his intro speech?
So do you have an actual source or were you just smoking some
Yes,
cheap weed?
I'll tell you offline, but I think you probably know the guy. He sells merchandise and everything like that. He's been with the WWE for a long time, and then got released a year ago, and then came back. So I'm not going to mention his name, but I think you probably know who he is.
I don't have a clue who you're talking about.
All right,
got released a year ago.
2 years ago, and then came back. But I digress. We'll talk about that offline. But blonde hair, tall guy. Anyways, a lot of merch. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But he's told there's rumors are going around that either in 27 or 28 they're going to put a wing for referees.
Okay. Let's get through this so we can talk off air.
So speak about the Hall of Fame this year. Let's start off with this. This year, Stephanie goes in, AJ Styles. Bad news, Brown. I know Donnie will be going crazy about this one. Sid going in. But are you surprised? And I'm going to be honest, that Hogan's not in.
No.
Or he's in, but they didn't a special mention or you know what I mean for Hogan since he passed away in, I believe, in July.
No, I don't think so, because there's two parts to this for me. One is if you're going to have Hulk Hogan, like first of all, Hogan's already in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
So what is it you want to do? Like you want to, like, I think what they can do at some point, since he's already in the Hall of Fame, is at some point you could do a thing where, like last year they did, well, who knows if they're ever going to do this again because they're not doing it this year. Last year they inducted a match, right?
Yeah.
Stone Cold and Steve Austin. Maybe down the road you induct one of Hogan's matches with someone who's still around. You know, maybe you induct WrestleMania 18 and you invite The Rock and you do something special there. But there's nothing to do this year. I'm sure there will be like a moment of silence, a tribute or something, you know, but I don't know. Like, what are you going to do? Right? Jim, am I wrong?
No, I agree. But I also look at it this way too. You know, you look at the lineup for this year's Hall of Fame, and don't get me wrong, you know, Stephanie, big name, AJ Styles, Dennis Rodman from the celebrity wing, I guess. If you do a tribute or something to Hogan, that overshadows all the other inductees.
100%.
So, like Donnie said, save it for a special occasion. Do it separate from the Hall of Fame. I think would be a nice little tribute. You know, in my opinion.
So the next question is: every year it seems they start to show off, like with Stephanie, with Triple H, with something. Do you expect maybe some guy named VKM to start off, or will it be Triple H? Welcome to WrestleMania, or Steph, or any Jimmy saying no, but. What do you say, Jimmy, first?
No, that ain't happening. I know there's a lot of people that are saying it and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be interesting? Wouldn't it be different? No, it ain't happening in any time soon because with the ongoing issues, legal issues that he's going through, trust me, it's not happening.
Okay. Not only is it not happening, Joe, I'm going to take this a step further. The only prayer that Vince McMahon has of ever getting into the Hall of Fame that he created is long after he has left this earth. And enough time has passed. And again, that all depends on what happens with his legal situation. if he's found guilty and on all counts and blah blah blah, he's never getting into his own Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
No.
But if things settle out nicely and one day he's dead and gone and Stephanie's grandchildren decide to induct him, then maybe that will happen.
All right, so he's saying no. Vince McMahon will not, and he still has these issues. Everybody, we're not going to talk about them. Let's talk about
The
wrestling.
the only way Vince McMahon will show up at a WWE event, whether it's WrestleMania or whatever, is if he buys one of those $15,000 tickets. And even then, they will not show him on camera.
No, I was gonna say if he bought a ticket, Jim, they wouldn't even show him.
No,
not a chance.
Even if it was front row, you'd see some masterful digital AI blurring or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to night one, Saturday at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. It starts off with Jimmy, I Show Speed, Logan Paul and Theory versus the Usos and L.A. Knight. Yeah, Jimmy, who do you like in this one?
Well, I don't like the Usos and L.A. Knight, no. This one here, for me, has I Show Speed actually getting the pin on L.A. Knight in some form or fashion. Donnie mentioned on a Huge Pop this week that maybe the Usos abandon L.A. Knight. I like that idea better than them turning on him like physically. I'd rather they not touch him and just walk away. And when L.A. Knight is confused by all this and the referee is kind of a little bit distracted, you get a Logan Paul shot with the brass knuckles and grabs I Show Speed and drapes him on top of L.A. Knight for the 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Donnie.
Control V, paste. I have the exact same response. I don't think there's a prayer that LA Knight and the Usos win this, which is odd because normally in a situation when you have heel tag team champions in a 6-man tag against babyface champions, this is a great way for the heels to lose because the titles aren't on the line, right? But I don't think that's where we're heading. We're not heading to an Usos Vision rematch for the titles. I think we're going in a completely different direction. So the Vision will have their hand raised, and Mr. 200 billion followers on social media, I Show Speed, will be the star.
All right. And then closing out ESPN2's portion. And this is, I think it's going to be an underrated match, unsanctioned match. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. And Donnie, start us off with this one.
I mean, I don't know why it would be underrated. I think a lot of people were looking at this as it could legitimately be at the very top of the card. You've got two unbelievable talents here. Jacob Fatu is going to have an absolute coming out party. I think this is going to be the beginning of his ascension towards the upper portion of the card. This is going to be what Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre meant to Drew McIntyre. That's how big this is going to be, in my opinion. So I don't think there's any hope of Drew McIntyre winning this. Also, the cat's out of the bag that he's leaving for a few months to go film a movie. So I think if you have a car, you could bet it on Jacob Fatu.
Okay, Jimmy.
I can't disagree with that. And Donnie's right that Jacob Fatu has to come out looking strong, looking like because it almost seems like they're kind of teasing a little something with him and his family again.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to go in that direction, then he has to look like a world beater. And Drew McIntyre is the consummate businessman. You know he's going to put it all on the line before he goes away to film that movie. Just hopefully he doesn't break something before he does it. Yeah, Jacob Fatu. The only thing is, between those two matches, I would probably start the show with this match. Start with pedal to the metal and craziness.
It's interesting that the show is going to start, right? WrestleMania weekend on the free hour on ESPN, and neither of these two first matches is a traditional pro wrestling match.
Yep.
Right? You would almost expect that, like, when you have a casual audience, you're going to start with some kind of a one-on-one, maybe one of the women's matches, something like that. But they got two gimmick matches to start the show, which is interesting. But the last point on this match I'll say is Drew McIntyre has reached that rare status of a WWE superstar. He is absolutely bulletproof. You cannot hurt him. He could lose every match from here until 2030, and he will still be money. You will still believe him that he is a threat to win the title on any given night.
Yep. But the big thing is 2030, he'll win the world title. Gunther.
Yeah, there you go. Drew versus Oba.
That's right.
2030. Book it.
We'll talk about it in the next segment, Oba. But Gunther versus Seth Rollins. This one, again, is going to be a barn burner. What do you say, Donnie?
Yeah, absolute barn burner. You have two unbelievable wrestlers. I have felt for a couple years now, maybe 3-4 years, well, probably longer than that. God, time is flowing by. Several years now, I have been saying that Gunther, in my opinion, is the perfect professional wrestler. He can do everything. He can work with anyone. He can elevate. He can decimate. He can talk. He can be a heel. He can get a 5-star match out of anybody, regardless of what Dave Meltzer thinks. So I think this match is going to be spectacular. It has a chance to steal the show. This has the chance to be your Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage on the show when it wasn't the match that drew the house, right?
Yeah. Who are you calling this one?
I am calling Gunther, and I'm undecided if it will be clean or if there will be some shenanigans from Braun Breaker. But I'm willing to bet a Starbucks gift card that Braun Breaker will make an appearance either during or after the match, and he will lay hands on Seth Rollins.
Okay. And so let's say Seth Rollins loses. Does he go for revenge later on at maybe SummerSlam against Gunther, or do they just lay that?
It's not important. It's not important. At that point, it's not important. Gunther moves on, and Seth chases
Braun.
The Vision. Yeah, Braun and the Vision.
Yeah. Because that was his original target coming back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely that's got to be the route they go. Gunther, I think, did a great job of explaining why he went after Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. I think him telling him, "You think you're the best wrestler here, you're not. I am," which he has an argument. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. So they for something that was put together very quickly, I thought they did a good job of kind of connecting the dots as to why these two are going to have a match. I know people were saying, "Well, Gunther's not on WrestleMania." Yes, he is now. And you want him on WrestleMania, you got him in a good match, and people are still complaining.
Yeah.
Well, stop it, guys. And as far as the match goes, it's going to be, what do the kids call it now? A banger?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it now?
Yeah.
We used to call it a barn burner back in the day, but back in my day. So trust me, this one's going to be good. Gunther makes sense, especially if he's going forward as the person who retires legends. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to shine, because when was the last time Gunther won at WrestleMania?
That's what I'm saying. He's on a 2-year losing streak. He's never won a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah. And last year, of course, he lost to the Jey Uso, right? So
2-year losing streak.
Yeah. So the next three matches, I can't believe it, are all ladies matches. So kudos to the WWE and kudos to the ladies who've really showed up this year. WWE Women's Tag Team Titles, Fatal 4-Way match, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Bella Twins, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Laura Valkyria, Bailey, Jimmy. Who you like in this one?
All dependent on whether Nikki Bella is good to go. That is the big question mark. I guess we'll find out later this week, especially on SmackDown, whether they're going to turn it into a 3-way match as opposed to a fatal 4-way, or possibly insert another team in there, aka the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know. I hope they don't do that. Somebody's breaking dishes over here. It's a Greek party going on. If the Bellas are in it, I would probably lean towards the Bellas. But if they're not in it, I would like to see, as much as I get annoyed by Lyra Valkyria, she for some reason, I would like to see Bailey and Lyra with the titles.
Donnie?
I agree with Jimmy. A lot of it is dependent on what's happening with the Bellas, because I firmly believe this entire match was created to put the titles on the Bellas.
Yeah.
Now, if Nikki Bella can't go, or she can't go well enough to warrant her winning the title, then I think my pick is going to be with the oddly enjoyable and oddly endearing team of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte is having a renaissance. I think people have forgotten that she is tied for the most wins by any woman in WrestleMania history. I think people have forgotten, because she's been sitting in this tag team for a while, that she is legitimately the best women's wrestler on this planet. I think it's time for her to have some gold around her waist again. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. And if it's not that, then quite honestly, keep them on Nia and Lash, because I like Nia and Lash. I think they're fabulous as a team. And not every title is going to change hands. Not every title is going to change hands. So legitimately, we could see a retention here, but if it's not, I'm leaning towards Charlexa.
Okay, a women's World Heavyweight Championship match, Stephanie McCure and Liv Morgan. Donnie?
I am shocked by the public sentiment on this match. I am shocked that 90% of fans who I speak to believe with their whole chest that Stephanie McCure is retaining the title. They also firmly believe that Liv is going to be betrayed by Raquel and Roxanne in this match. I don't see that at all. Stephanie is cold. Liv is hot. Put the title on the hot property. Liv wins. And what Stephanie does next, my thinking is she probably gets bogged down in something for the next little while with a woman who has also beaten her before, who's making her call up after WrestleMania, and that's JC Jane.
Okay. Jimmy?
I can't disagree with the who's hot and who's not right now. That's for sure. Then that plays a lot into it. And trust me, as much as people don't understand, they do listen, but they listen differently. They listen to they don't listen to the noise on the internet. They don't care about that stuff, but they listen to the crowd. They listen to the reaction. They listen to the response. Who's generating who are people invested in right now? And Liv is someone who fans, despite the fact that she's technically a heel, love her. There's something about her and that energy. As much as I'm tired also of the pull aparts, everybody gets into a brawl and we need the security and the agents and the refs out there to pull it apart. The one on Monday with her and Stephanie, Liv was like livid. And that really translated to the eyes. The audience wanted to see more of her. And guess what? They're going to see it on Saturday.
And it felt like there was a few potatoes in there, Jim?
There might have been a few receipts, yes. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Remember this? Remember the goose egg? Yeah.
And Liv's eyes were like really focused. She was determined to get her on Raw this past Monday. So
And I'll tell you what, Joe. I'll tell you what. The security guys, the security. I'm going to have to do the air quotes because you know what the security. They really had to work to keep them apart.
yeah.
As opposed to okay, let's all step in here. Wait, I'm going to take an F5 or something. No. They really had to fight to hold these ladies back.
All right.
And you know what, Jim? To me, that illustrates why when Liv does turn babyface, she's going to be the top woman in the company because her fire is unbelievable. Like, who else in the company? Even Rhea doesn't fire up like that.
No.
Like, her fire is unmatched. And I think personally, all these people that are convinced the Judgment Day is going to turn on her on Saturday, the turn means so much more if she loses the title, not is kept from the title as a result of the turn. In my opinion, I don't see a turn happening this Saturday.
Exactly. All right. We see the women's intercontinental title. And again, all these are good feuds here. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, Jimmy, go ahead.
With all due respect to the ladies in this match, I have zero interest in this. They have really done very little, if anything at all, to get me invested in this match. That being said, because of the fact that AJ Lee will not be a full-time person and the Intercontinental Championship, both men's and women's, is meant to be the workhorse championship. It's not meant to be like Roman Reigns holding the Universal Championship where you show up once every 6 months. So that being said, someone like Becky Lynch, who will be there every week, will win this title. So new women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Trump.
Yeah, and the reason why they have done very little to get us interested in this match is the same reason why Becky will win. They haven't been able to generate interest because AJ's not around. And that's the same reason why AJ's not going to win. She's not around. And I like AJ. I think she's a great talent. I think when she's there, she's an extremely valuable part of the roster. But she has her hands in so many other pots right now. Like, she is a busy, busy professional. And I think this was sort of like a fun kind of like, one more time, one more kick at the can type deal. I get to travel with my husband a little bit and see if I can still do it. Awesome. But now it's time to put the title on the waist of a woman who's going to be there every week.
All right. And the main event of night one for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, with somehow Pat McAfee probably involved, somehow some Raptor involved, and everything like that. Donnie, what do you think? What do you think they're gonna do in this main event?
I was looking for a quarter so I could flip it and make my pick. I really don't know. I can talk myself into about 8 different scenarios with this match. Okay? Like, everyone and their granny seems to believe that Orton's going to win 15 this Saturday. And that could very well happen. I don't know what it is. There's something in the back of my head that keeps telling me, maybe this is just how I would book it, okay? But there's something in the back of my head that tells me this Pat McAfee Randy Orton alliance is a smokescreen. This Pat McAfee Randy Orton thing is just to set Randy Orton up for the punter to kick him in the nuts and then raise the hand of the true corporate champion, Cody Rhodes. I kind of feel like that might be the direction. And if that was the direction, look what you've created for the next 10 months. You've created TKO versus WWE. You've created not just one night, you've created a whole program of heel Cody versus Randy. I feel like that might be the way to go, because to quote Triple H talking to Road Dogg, you put the title on Randy. Okay, then what? Like, then what do you do with Cody? I don't know. Like, there's no value in a return match the next month. So I'm not sure. I think the fan sentiment and the sentiment of many within the industry is Randy wins, number 15, make it so. But if I'm reading tea leaves, I would go the other way and have Cody retain with help from the punter.
What do you have against the punter?
I like him. I think he's tremendous. I think the hate for him is stupid. I think he's tremendous talent.
That's a great promo, put it that way. So
it's a great promo.
Yeah.
Great.
If you want to make a complaint, maybe it was a little long last Friday, but that doesn't matter. The guy can go. You know what I mean? And he speaks with passion.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie makes a convincing argument there, because I didn't think of it that way. My mindset was more along the lines of somehow Pat helps Randy become number 15, the 15th championship, but then turns around and RKO's McAfee, because he is the Viper. He said, thanks for your help, but guess what? I don't need you anymore. Boom.
But then that makes him a complete babyface. Right?
I know. Then I'm trying to piece it together.
Are you forgetting about Jelly Roll?
Yes, we are. Move on.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's a part of it. See,
he's not officially part of it. His big ass is not on the poster.
No.
Actually,
it's a smaller ass now. He has lost some weight.
He has, and I do like Jelly Roll. I think he's an entertaining cat.
Yeah, I just don't like him involved in this scenario whatsoever.
I don't know, man. There's something about Randy, and you and I talked about this a little bit on Huge Pop, but there's something about Randy who historically, I understand he's older, kinder, gentler, wiser today, but historically, Randy is one of the biggest shit disturbers in company history.
Yeah.
He is not the corporate champion. He is the that's a square peg in a round hole. And Cody is the ultimate corporate guy. So if they're going with this corporation versus working stiffs storyline, I could almost see a situation where Cody and the tribal chief are standing next to Pat McAfee.
Well, that brings up, I was going to say that at the end, but that brings up one other question. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He won't be there.
Does he show up?
No.
At WrestleMania at all?
No, not even a hope in hell. If he was going to be there, Joe, they would have dropped some kind of a cookie crumb because they would believe it would sell at least one ticket.
We didn't even get one segment in the back where they're by a truck with his face on it. And usually that's a sign that
that's coming up on Friday. Watch.
If they do it Friday, then we can have a shot at seeing him.
So that's it. All right.
They thought he was coming last year, and they had what was it? 50,000 T-shirts printed that were on sale in Vegas, and he didn't come. So they're not advertising him unless they know he's coming. And if he hasn't been hinted at, not a chance.
Right.
Okay. So these guys will be back to preview night 2. But Donnie, tell everybody what we have for Huge Pop this week.
On this week's episode of Huge Pop, we have our breakdown of WrestleMania, including a visit from one of the best odds makers in the world, Rafael Sparza. He gives us the betting odds on WrestleMania, as well as some really fun prop bets if you're looking to lay a little juice and make a few bucks. And Joe, you could buy a new T-shirt or something. And
see, the guy hates Canada. That's all I'm saying. He hates Canada.
All
right,
Canada at all. I'm just saying, maybe some color, make your eyes pop a little.
Wait till you see night 2. Put it that way.
And aside from that, we also have an exclusive interview with a guy who I've wanted to interview for 30 years and just never had the chance. And that's B. Brian Blair of the Killer Bees. And he has a massive announcement during the interview related to my partner, Jimmy Corderas.
All right. Well, stay tuned for Hooch Pop, and we carry it here on the Fired Up Network. Jimmy, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Oh, very easy. On Twitter, I still call it Twitter, not X, at Jimmy Corderas. On Instagram, at Real Jimmy Corderas. You'll find me posting the links to all the shows that I'm on. Huge Pop for sure. Also roughing it up with the Ref Crew, Hebner and Daniel Spencer from TNA. And also my Ref and Rants, Monday to Friday on all my social media platforms. Just having a little fun, pointing out little things that I disagree with that I think should have been done different, maybe.
Final question for Donnie, and we have Ralph, Steven, John, Kwame wants to know, is Donnie the new GM and president of Maple Leafs?
Of the Maple Leafs?
The actual hockey team?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm a winner. I don't associate with dog shit.
All right, dog shit.
I'm a winner, okay? Now, I'll tell you this. If the Toronto Raptors come calling, then I'm open for discussions. Okay? Leafs, you're on your own, baby. You figure it out. You got yourselves in this quagmire. Figure it out. Now, if the Raptors want some help, my number's listed.
What will be the first thing you do with the Raptors if somebody calls you?
The first thing I would do with the Raptors is I would bring in I would bring in a true point guard. That's the very first thing I would do. I would look to get off of IQ's contract. I would bring in a true point guard, and then I would look to see if we can find ourselves a scoring wing, a big scoring wing, because that way I feel like we could be a little, and I'm not saying a starter, but I'm saying a guy that can come off the bench, because any time that one of our big 3 scorers sits down, then it gets a little dicey. We don't know who's going to bring what on any given night. Everyone always says they need a big man. Sure. Yes. Every team wants a big man. But I don't want a 7-footer that can't move. I want a big man that can play ball. But the first option for me would be a point guard that he can shoot a little bit. He can distribute the ball, and he's got to be able to guard the point of entry. If you have that, the Raptors are going to pick up an extra 10 wins next season.
And next show, where we preview night 2, I'll ask him at the end of the show if the Raptors are going to beat Cleveland in the playoffs this year. Don't answer it yet. Next show. Thanks a lot, guys.